Hello, you're welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be making a slanted pocket on a female trouser. I already have a video on my channel on how to cut a female trouser. So you can quickly watch that. I will leave the link in the comment section. So now we have the front and the back bodies. So I have to set the back bodies aside because we won't be needing that. And the focus will be on our front bodies towards the coffee part of the pocket. So for the pocket, I made this two pairs of pocketing. I'll be using this lining as the pocketing in this video. So I made two pairs of it, meaning two for each side of the front bodies. Now the slant pocket is just for the front bodies. So I measured about 12 inches length and 9 inches width. That's what I'll be using for the pocketing. And now to go further, I'll need to bring this under the edge of the front bodies, removing the pattern, so I will have to work with the fabric. I place it under the front bodies. That's because I want to shape it exactly the same way like I shaped the the front bodies of these trousers. So I'll be using my scissors to cut out the excess. Okay, after placing it well enough, aligning the waistline and the edge. So I'll use the scissors to trim this out, and that will be for the pocket, for ease, and then it will give it a relaxed look. So that I will not be confused, I'm marking the directions of the part facing the waistline and the part that will have to go as the bottom. Okay, so and that will help me when I'm sewing back to this. So for the slant pocket on the waistline, I will need to measure 2 inches inwards, okay, on the waistline, and I'll go down with 7 inches. At the point of 7 inches, I'm going inwards with half inch. That will be for the seaming allowance. So I'll then slant it at that point of the half inches I marked inwards to the point I marked 2 inches on the waistline, as you can see. So I'll use my scissors to cut this part off, and that will be the opening for the pocket. So to go further, I'll need to bring in the pocketing back at this point, because I need to shape the one of this pair exactly the same way I cut out the slants for the pocket. Hope you understand. So it's just the top part of the pocketing that I'll be cutting out exactly the same way I cut the fabric. Okay. And the other one will still be as it is. So for the underneath, because I don't want it to show the pocketing, I'll bring the pieces of 3 inches width and 12 inches length. That's what I'll be using to cover that part that I don't want the pocketing to show. Okay, so I can add interface to this. Yes, I will add interface to it to make it smooth, and that's how I'll place it on the pocketing. Now the inside part, the part facing inward, I will need to fold it with half inch, and then I'll sew it. I'll basically match it on that pocketing, so it will look like the fabric. Of course, it is the fabric that will be showing at that point. So now, so I will not be confused, to confirm that I'm doing the right thing, I am bringing in these two pairs again. Now note that the opening are facing opposite direction. That's when you will know you're doing the right thing. So I've added the interface to the slanted part of the pocket, same with the pocketing, and I added to the two pieces I said I'll be using to cover up the pocketing, and I ironed the half inch inwards. Okay, look at the half inch I iron inward. Okay, and I've added interface to the 12 inches by 3 inches width pieces. That's how I'll sew it on the pocket. Okay, so I'm showing you basically what I'll have to work with. So at this point, we will need to start sewing the slant pocket. So I'm opening the front bodies as you can see me do, and I'll bring in the slanted pocket that I've added interface to it. Pinning that down, I'll need to sew it from the waistline, and then I'll sew it down to where we have the end of the opening. I'll go inwards with the half inch I added. You have to sew everything like you can see. Okay, and then after sewing that, I will notch. Okay, I'll notch to give it a relaxed look, and after notching, I will need to top stitch this and give it a good press. So I'll need to top stitch. Like you can see me, I'm trying to show you how I'll top stitch. You have to make it very close to the edge. Okay, I've already notched it. Look at how relaxed it is at that corner. So I'll top stitch it and give it a good press like you can see me do. So that's how it is. I've top stitched. Okay, so before I go further, I'll need to sew in those pieces that I cut. I said I'll use to cover up. Okay, so like I've ironed and I'm placing this by the side. Okay, that's it. I'll sew that down and then we proceed from there. Now after I've sewn this down, I'll need to sew out the corners of the pocket inwards. If you've noticed, I'm still having the pins on because I don't want to confuse any parts with this, so I still kept the two pairs together. Okay, so sewing it together now, I'll need to use I'm using bias to make the final finishing of this. You can interlock it if you so desire, but I'll be using bias of the same color to do the finishing. So remember to subscribe to our channel, like this video if it adds any value to you, and turn on your notification button. Like I said, we are doing a master class very soon, so you'll be updated on our class if you want to be part of this class. So I've sewn the slanted pocket and that's the final look. I gave it a good praise. So turning to the other side, that's the bias I used. I used the same color with the fabric. Okay, so I left this side because I will interlock later. Okay, so that's it.